Courtney Morgan is the general manager for Alabama. Beginning of this week, news broke, man, he got a new deal. And not just like, oh man, he got a nice little 10% raise. He got a new 3-year deal, $825,000. That's not bad. Okay, that will play more than fine. The way that a lot of people are phrasing this is he reset the market for general managers in college football. Bama being Bama. Alabama fans, we've had a ton of y'all subscribe to this platform, the On3 YouTube channel, over the course of the last few months. If you have not yet subscribed, college football season is here. The Kalen DeBoer era about to get rocking. We're going to talk a lot about your Crimson Tide. We're going to talk a lot about college football every single day on this show, on this channel. Make sure you're subscribed. We appreciate y'all in advance for being dialed in. The reason why this is so important is a number of reasons, but like Courtney Morgan on the Alabama side is, I think, very much so responsible, or as responsible as anybody else, for the current number 2 class Alabama has on the recruiting trail. He's tremendous with relationships. He's tremendous when it comes to roster building. He's been with Kalen DeBoer since the Fresno State days. Like, this is an individual now that a lot of other teams, I believe, wanted. More specifically, I believe USC was very much so pushing to try and bring him to LA. Courtney Morgan, a guy with West Coast ties. This is massive they kept him. Absolutely massive they kept him. And I think him getting this deal is a tangible sign of where college football is right now when it comes to acquiring talent. Like, no longer is it the days where your staff evaluates and recruits and goes after these guys and you just try and get as many good players as you can. You have your board, of course, you have your priorities, but like now it's at a point where there is so much going on, from high school recruiting to the transfer portal to NIL. Like, you need somebody to oversee all of that. You need somebody to be a GM, as Courtney Morgan is. And this is something that a lot of teams in college football have, if not all of them. But this is something that's going to become even more important as we jump into the 12-team playoff. Because honestly now, being successful at the highest level, as you expect to be at Alabama, like the standard is win a national championship, doesn't matter if Nick Saban's the head coach or not. To meet that standard, you probably have to be able to play, you have to be able to play 17 games. To win that many games, or to be able to win the 17th game of the season, you got to have answers in game 15 when your backup left guard is in the game, or you're down to your third string defensive tackle, or you're down to your backup slot. Like you see what I'm saying here? Depth is the new name of the game. How you win in depth is what you have at GM. And so Courtney Morgan now, the roster that he is continuing to assemble in Tuscaloosa, what they're doing on the recruiting trail is one side of this, but even more, I'm just saying this, like Courtney Morgan, I believe, is worth every single penny he's getting at Alabama. And that will come to show itself, especially late in the year when Alabama is dinged up, as everyone is in college football at that point in the year when it comes to late December, late November. Like, Alabama will have answers because of who they have at GM. So, I mean, huge for the personnel world. This is something that you're going to see now going forward as well. James Blanchard is a massive part of the personnel staff at Texas Tech. I don't want to get his position wrong. I believe he is either director of player personnel or maybe the GM. Bottom line, he just got paid at Texas Tech. They kind of, I believe, got the momentum rolling. Courtney Morgan getting this deal is just a sign of the times in modern college football. To have someone oversee your roster, oversee your depth, is now a non-negotiable to win at the highest level. You're going to see this happen more often too. Like, just because Courtney Morgan reset the market right now doesn't mean somebody else isn't going to get paid, or get paid, I think, maybe on par with Courtney Morgan in the not-too-distant future. All right? Long gone are the days where you don't invest in personnel. As college football starts to become more and more NFL-ish, with the transfer portal essentially being free agency, and with the expanded playoff kind of mirroring the NFL playoff, where you got to string 3-4 games together to win it all, you're going to see the college football strategy, I think, to more NFL strategies. We're investing in personnel. You get out what you put in. You want to put in a lot to the personnel department, you will get return on investment there. So good for Alabama for investing in Courtney Morgan and personnel. And for, again, I believe they will be in a spot where they have answers because of how much attention they're paying to the personnel and, in a literal sense, paying to Courtney Morgan. So that's big news. And again, just the start. I don't think that's the last thing you'll see in the personnel department when it comes to guys getting paid a nice chunk of change. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.